What's up, guys? DLE Kamel here, and welcome back to the Duel Links Entertainment YouTube channel. We've got some hot leaks for you guys, fresh off the presses. There was an update last night in Duel Links, and with an update in the maintenance, there are typically some leaks, and we are getting a ton of stuff right before XEs. We are 6 days away as of the recording of this video, and so it looks like we have some character IDs and some skills. So let's get into these character IDs and break them down. First, we've got Yuma slash Astral, and then we've got Yuma and Astral. Okay, so some little context to this. Yuma is the main character of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, and Astral is a dueling spirit that he comes in contact to that is living within a necklace that he gets that is his father's necklace. So he's his kind of partner spirit. He's in his head while he's dueling. They're talking to each other all the time. And then at some point in the anime, they do combine. They have this form where they combine and they use a more powerful Xyz monster. But it would be kind of strange for us to have access to that and not a character like Kaito, Shark right off release. However, we'll see. You never know. So that's in the character IDs. It could be for anything. It could be for a cutscene. It could be for an event. It could be for anything. So we've got Yuma Astral as well. Again, cutscene. They could be both unlockable. You never know. Reginald Castle Shark. Alright, so he was not one of the characters that had gate drops. But maybe we'll see him via an event in the files, just so we know. And then Bronxstone and Tory Meadows, like we know from the Gate Rewards. So those are our character IDs, and pretty nice. I'm interested to see how they handle Human Astral in Duel Links. The amount of cards they can give them between them, if they want to give them cards specific to their archetype, are very slim. The cards that Astral has that are specific to him or his kind of theme, they're very powerful and very Xyz oriented. So I'm interested to see what combination of cards they give us there. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this leak, which is the skills. And we have quite a lot of skills now. Something to take into account when talking about skills. If you will recall, back into 2018, we had a huge Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's skill drop, and there were a ton of skills about Majestic this, Leo and Luna skills, Jack skills, Akiza skills, all these skills for like all of the 5D's characters, but it took them 2 years to give us all of those skills. We just got the Majestic Star Dragon skill. I believe that was the last one. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's probably one that was later, but it took them almost 2 years to give us all of those skills. So you see this very long list of skills here. Like, I want you to think about that it could take them a very long time for them to give us all of these skills. So yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it. And I have some context about some of these skills that you're not going to find anywhere else. So the first couple skills seem like they belong to, well, the very first skill, Overlay Gain, I believe will be generic. It's pretty generic. I could not find any source of a card just being called Overlay Gain or an effect called Overlay Gain, something like that. However, I do believe it will just be a generic skill. Probably like if you lose 1,000 and you have an Xyz monster that used a material, you can put it back. Something like that. Alright. So the next skill actually is very interesting, and it is called Numbers Rule. Now, Numbers Rule is actually an anime reference to the fact that in the anime, Xyz monsters that their names begin with number, like their number 39 Utopia or something like that, they can only be destroyed by battle by other number monsters. So this skill may be implementing that in Duel Links, and I think that is really cool. Who knows on what terms it will be? Most likely a once per turn basis. This being the entire duel would be, honestly, that would be pretty busted, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Once per turn, numbers cannot be destroyed by battle except by other numbers. So number rule, really glad it's in Duel Links. Really cool. Number recovery, this actually may be closer to the one that I was talking about, bringing back an overlay unit. Now, the next skill is actually something that I found something for, and I will look it up in the DLM card. Look up, and this is card right here. Boom, bam. Overlay regen. It is a normal spell. Target one face-up Xyz monster on the field. Attach this card to it as an Xyz material. So, very simple. They can implement this in a number of ways. They can just like have a little thing that they say, oh, like this is what an Xyz material is going to be. And really quickly, if we go down to the thing, they have a little icon for that. Have a little icon for that there, so maybe you won't even need a card to be under your Xyz monster. You'll just need one of these little icon boys right there. So we'll see. But yeah, I could easily see this being a skill. Maybe once per turn, twice per duel, something like that. Pretty simple. Next is overlay removal. Now, I could not find anything specific for this, but I would assume maybe you could use it on yourself. If you could use this on your opponent, that would be very, very interesting. I would assume that there would have to be a hefty life point cost or some sort of deck restriction or something like that, or turn restriction if you were able to use this on your opponent's monster. So that is very interesting as well. Those are going to be I think the two overlay skills there are going to be our generic overlay manipulation skills, as well as numbers rule. It might be as well. I don't think those are going to be character specific. The next skills, however, I do think are going to be character specific. And the first one being Warrior of Hope, number 39. And this, of course, I think will be the skill that you will get as soon as you unlock Zexal World and Yuma Tsukumo. You will get this skill, and it will add number 39 Utopia and like 2 Gaga Magicians to your deck, or something like that. Or, whatever 2 monsters they give us, it will vary, whatever they feel like giving us, but I feel like that is what it is going to do. So, and I feel like each character, or each, good character with a good Xyz monster, that's how we're going to have their skill delivered to us. And we'll see as we look on, but Yuma actually has some very interesting other skills. His very next one being Double or Nothing. Now, no, Double or Nothing is a very powerful card. It's not an anime card. It is an actual card in the game. Double or Nothing. Oh no, it's not going to show up? Oh no. Anyway, Double or Nothing is a card that when an attack is declared, when an attack is negated, you are allowed to attack again, and your attack is doubled in the damage step. Please don't crucify me if I got that wrong. But it is commonly used by Yuma in the anime in a combo with Utopia. He will negate his own attack via his effect. He'll attach an overlay unit to negate an attack, his own, and then activate Double or Nothing to attack for 5k damage. So this is a very powerful card. I was wondering if it would be implemented, but looks like it's going to be a skill, and I'm okay with that. Honestly, I just want to see very interesting and unique things being used in Duel Links from Zexal, and if this gets used, I hope it does not have a very strong restriction. That would be unfortunate, but I do hope that this gets used. Double or nothing. Nice. So, the next skill, Auto Play. So, Automatos, what are those? So, Automatos is a kind of a umbrella archetype for several archetypes that Yuma uses in his deck. So, a couple, just to name them, are Gagaga, Zubaba, Go Go Go. I think that's it. So, I actually have one of these cards here. So, if you search Gagaga here, you will actually search up specifically these. It's kind of weird searching these. Funny story, but the first card here is Utopic Automatopoeia. You can see here it's a monster. It's treated as Zubaba, Gagaga, Go-Go-Go, and Dododo as well. That's the fourth one that I forgot. So that is the monster. And then there are a couple other spells. This one right here. Automato Pyra. You can only activate one Automato Pyra per turn. Send one card from your hand to the grave. Add 2 of different types of the Zubaba, Gagaga, or Go-Go or Dododo. And then there is Automato Pickup. This card is activated. You can add 1 Automat card from your deck to your hand, except Pickup. You target one of those monsters you control, and they all become the same level. That's pretty cool. That's a continuous spell. And the field spell Automatopoeia, this one's pretty nuts. A High Five the Sky counters with Utopia. You all gain 200 attack, then you can remove 2 High Five the Sky counters to special summon one of those Automatopoeia monsters. That's pretty nuts. So those are the Automatopoeia specific cards, but if you search up any of these Gagaga, Do, or Go Go Go, any of these cards, those are Automatopoeia related cards. So whatever this skill does, I don't know what it does. Automato Play, maybe it specifies that it will play one of these cards from your hand in addition to your normal summon. That's all I can think of. Or maybe, just a way to get one on the field somehow. There you go. The next 2 are, I don't really have much for. Dual Fuel and Ready for Victory. Dual Fuel is kind of something that in the anime, when Yuma eats, he calls it Dual Fuel so he can, get energized and ready to go. So that's what he does. And Ready for Victory, I don't know. That seems kind of weird, kind of generic. It's whatever. I don't know. I don't know what that could be. So, next, I think we are going to be going into Shark's skills, what I believe are going to be his character-specific skills. That's all for Yuma. And for Yuma, he has some very interesting ones. Definitely, I want to see the restrictions that they put on Double or Nothing and what would they give us with the Utopia skill and what Automata Play entails. Easier ways to exceed summoning are important. Okay, so next we have Monarch of the Deep Sea, number 32. Okay, so Monarch of the Deep Sea 32. Now, this is very interesting. I did not think that with Xyz's World that they would give us Shark with number 32 Shark Drake as his ace monster. Now, what does this mean? This means that he'll probably be getting Leviathan Dragon through a gate drop or something. This is so cool if this is accessible via a skill. Hopefully they give us some good monsters, and hopefully they give us 3 of them because Shark Drake is a beast to get out. So let's read them. Number 32, Shark Drake, Water Rank 4, Sea Serpent Xyz, 3 level 4 monsters. Once per turn, when this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, special summon the destroyed monster to your opponent's side of the field in the face-up attack position. Also, it loses 1000 attack, and if you do summon this way, this card can make a second attack during this battle phase. And based on some other cards we have in this game, Trio. this card should absolutely be allowed to be in Duel Links. It requires you to have a full field of level 4 monsters. It is very good because it is generic, and if it's only accessible by skill, that's okay for now, as long as this card is in the game. Hopefully we see it released in a box later down the road when we have a Shark-specific character box. I wonder if we're going to get that, like we did in 5Ds. But nevertheless, I'm glad that this card is going to make its way into Duel Links and be Shark's skill-accessible Xyz monster. That's honestly great for me. Magic combo. I could not find too much here. Maybe some, combination between sea serpents. I don't know, shark. He's a water kind of shark, kind of fish kind of guy. But his next skill, full armored Xyz Black Ray, I actually have something for. So, give me 1 second. Oh. Searching these cards are kind of weird for some reason. So, this is the card right here. Oh wait, actually I figured out if you can type in Lancer, it will all come up. By the way, the last skill I read, number 32, someone pointed out that may be one of the cards that he will be in the Ace Monster Zone during our Characters on Release video, and that person was right. Or it could be this next card that we talk about. And he has a couple of variants you can see, but the base one here is what I'm interested in, is Black Ray Lancer. So, Black Ray Lancer is a Dark Rank 3 Beast Warrior Xyz, 2 level 3 water monsters. Even though he's a Dark, he requires 2 waters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card. You target 1 face-up monster on the field. Negate that target's effects until the end phase. 2100 attack. So someone pointed out to me as well that this could be Shark's Ace Monster, and it looks to me that I hope that it is not. I honestly hope that it is number 32, but having access to this card will be nice, and because we have access to this next card, I think we will be having access to this as well. And this is kind of an, I don't know, an evolution, if you want to call it. Full armored Black Ray Lancer. It is a water rank 4 Beast Warrior Xyz, 3 level 4 water monsters. You can also Xyz summon this card by using a rank 3 water Xyz monster you control that has no Xyz materials as the Xyz material. This card gains 200 attack for each Xyz material attached to it. If this face-up card would be destroyed, you can detach all of its Xyz materials instead. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target 1 spell trap card your opponent controls, destroy that target. And yep, I think this is a card that we would get in Duel Links, and it depends on how we are getting it, right? Is this going to be added to our extra deck, or is this skill going to replace the first effect, right? Where we put this on top of a rank 3 water Xyz monster. What if this skill could be the sole implementation for this card, right? We don't actually have access to the card. It's not added to our deck, but instead it takes a rank 3 water Xyz monster with no Xyz materials, and it evolves it into this card like Blue Eyes with alternative evolution. It just turns into the alternative dragon. That would be cool. However, then it would kind of make its attack boost irrelevant. It would only be able to be 2300, and then it would negate destruction once, and then go back to 2100, and then it only has 2100 to destroy a spell or trap. So I would honestly hope that it just adds it to your extra deck. That would be very helpful. Hopefully it will add. The optimal skill I'm going for here is add full armored Black Ray Lancer and 2 Black Ray Lancer to your extra deck. That's what I'm going for. I hope that is the effect for this skill. So, pretty cool. Alright, so the next skill we have here is Shark's Revenge. I couldn't find too much for Shark's Revenge, but you can see here, this is the Shark archetype. They have a lot of cards, and they have even more anime cards that I sifted through and searched through, and so we'll actually look at some anime cards while we're looking at them. So that's what you get when you're looking here at daily. And this next skill is one of those anime cards, and I'm going to look at it right now. So the next skill is called Territory of the Shark. Now, while there is no card called Territory of the Shark in Yu-Gi-Oh!, there, however, is an anime card called Shark's Lair. Now, Shark's Lair is a continuous spell. As you can see, it's using the anime by Shark. And it is activate by sending one fish-type monster from your hand to the graveyard. Monsters your opponent controls with less attack than the sent monster's attack cannot attack. Now, I actually remember seeing this, funny enough. But, yeah. So this is a continuous spell. Now, it may put the spell on the field, maybe at the beginning of the duel, maybe it's activatable after you lose a certain amount of life points, or maybe it is just a Sealed Tubes effect. You skill Hushdo, and it's activated on the field until your opponent's next turn. You send a fish, can't attack. Yeah, basically that's it. So, this is the context for Territory of the Shark, I believe. Let's hope we get it right, but that is your little Kamel Zexal tie-in for Shark Lair. Alright, so moving on. We have You Are Getting on My Nerves. Now, You Are Getting on My Nerves, this is a quote from Shark. He says this all the time, like, you're getting on my nerves. You're pissing me off. You know, like, get out of here. What are you, like, he's an asshole. He's a jerk. He gets annoyed by Yuma and his friends, so maybe this will be some, like, you know, get out of here skill where he, like, does something to your monster. You're like, who knows? It's a personal Shark skill and not much context here. Now, we are moving into the Kaito skills. Kaito Tenjo. Kite. And in the dub, you know, he uses the photon monsters. He is one of Yuma's arc rivals. Him and Shark, Reginald Castle, they are both Yuma's rivals in Zexal. So, Kite, his first skill is, I believe, his add Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon to the deck skill. Now, I had hoped that we would get this card obtainable, and maybe we will. But for now, it seems that this skill will be our way of obtaining it in the game, in our decks, via it being added to our deck via skill. We may get it in a box later, but maybe the cards that we get with it, I'm thinking, are one Photon Thrasher, one Photon Crusher. That's what I'm thinking. So, if you don't remember, we actually went over this before. We went over Galaxy Eyes, Photon Dragon, in a couple of our videos now. I know we have a couple of them. So there it is. Effect monster. He can steal Xyz monsters when he battles them by banishing both of you guys. That's what he does. But the context here is that Cosmic Scourge is actually a reference to a dub-only anime line where Kaito calls his it's like his summoning chant to bring out Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. And if I still have it here brought up, I do not, but he says, like, come forth the monster that is more powerful than 10 black holes put together. A Cosmic Scourge, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. There you guys go. There's your fan service. So, the next skill is Xyz Hunter. Xyz Hunter, this is what Kaito is. Him and Kaito and all his, like, compatriots, they hunt the numbers. They hunt Xyz. They're Xyz hunters. I don't know what this will do. Maybe it does something, I don't know. Maybe add an Xyz, that would be crazy. Or, like, do something, add an Xyz from your graveyard back to your extra deck or your opponent's graveyard. Something along those lines. That's what I was thinking. But, yeah, another Kaito skill. Maybe if we get the other number hunters, maybe they will have access to this skill as well. Maybe Yuma will. Yuba is a number hunter as well. Alright, so the next skill is another skill that I have some context for, and it is called Galaxy Regeneration. So this is another anime card, and here it is. Now, there is no Galaxy Regeneration card, again, and this is the closest card that I could find. It is called Galaxy Rebirth. And here you can see it is a quick play spell. Now, I'll read it. Target one Galaxy monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and equip it with this card. Its attack is halved. During your end phase, if the equipped monster did not inflict battle damage to your opponent this turn, destroy it. If the equipped monster is used as an Xyz material for an Xyz summon, you can treat this card as a monster with a level equal to the equipped monster's level and use it as an Xyz material for that Xyz summon. Okay. So this is a little bit to unpack here. This is a pretty good card, albeit, you know, Cosmic Cyclone is huge in the meta. However, we have to think, how is this going to be implemented? Because it is a skill at the end of the day. They could forego you adding this card altogether, right? Let's think of it that way. Then it could target a Galaxy monster, special summon it, and then its attack is halved. And then if it did not inflict battle damage, you can destroy it. Okay? Then you can also, like, they could just passively apply the effect that it can count for two materials for an Xyz summon, and let it still have 2 overlay units, because if you use this, it would still have 2 overlay units because this card would count as an overlay unit. So that's one method, right? It lets you have everything, but just, you know, apply the effects to the monster without the card. The other option is that they give you the card to use, and then they let you use it and let the card play as it is. So you will have to play with this card equipping to the monster, and then you using the monster and this card for an Xyz summon. So yeah, those are the 2 options for this skill, I believe. There's your anime card context from DLE. Alright. Next skill we have on the list is Number Hunt. Again, another Kaito specific skill, it seems. Kaito's a number hunter. He hunts the numbers. He needs the numbers so he can save his brother. So you can get him, make sure he is well again. Who knows what this will be? Maybe he will, like, get a number from his grave or something like that. Who knows? The next skill is another skill that I have context for you guys. So, firstly, I believe that this is maybe a spelling error on the DLM website. It's called shifing up here. Who knows though? Maybe a Konami translation error. Konami messes that up all the time. So, this is not a card that is released in Yu-Gi-Oh! However, it is an anime card. There is an anime-related card to this that I found, and it is called Upshift. Alright, Upshift. Bam! Alright, Upshift. It is a normal spell. Target the one face-up monster you control with the highest level. The levels of all other face-up monsters you control become the current level of that monster until the end phase. Now, whoa! This card is pretty cool, and this is just the kind of card that I would think to be implemented as a skill in the Zexal era. And I actually do not think that this will be a character-specific skill, although it does seem to be grouped with the Kaito skills. Maybe it will. This may be a generic skill, or maybe certain characters will be able to have it. So, let's think, how can they implement this? Firstly, let's think they don't implement the card. Target one face-up monster you control with the highest level. The one face-up monster you control with the highest level. And then everything else becomes that level. Bam! They could put a fat life point cost on this, and this would be a balanced skill in Duel Links First Zexal era. Damn, that's nice, man. Just considering having this card as a skill in Duel Links is pretty nice. Pretty nice to consider what they're thinking of, you know, going forward. So, the next option is they give us the card. After we lose a certain amount of life points, they give us the card and let us use it. Another option, you know. If they give us a card, of course, any cards they give us, facts, any cards they give us to be activated can be negated. Skills cannot be responded to. Those are the pros and cons, so keep that in mind as well. So, Upshift, there is your anime tie-in. There you go. Okay, so, ready to get defeated. Not much that I think of there. Probably just a Kaito skill, maybe a generic skill. Ready to get defeated. Kaito's an arrogant guy. Maybe it could be his skill. Who knows? Now, I believe we are moving on into the Bronx Stone skills. So the first one, Return of the Archduke. Now, I actually looked up. Looked up the word Archduke, and I could not find any card besides Tin Archduke. So, I do believe Return of the Archduke is going to be just Tin Archduke. Add some other guys to your deck. Or maybe Return of the Archduke. Maybe he's coming back. Maybe you can summon him from the grave if you send some machines, something like that. Some crazy nonsense. Does not sound very good. Brock's next two skills, Iron A and Iron Call. I don't know too much about them, but they're iron guys. Iron Call, maybe, is that a card? Let's look it up right on the spot. I don't remember specifically. Oh god, it says there's one card. Who knows? Let's look at the wiki real quick. Boom, it's a card. Iron Call, but we have this in Duel Links. Target level 4 machine, special summon it, but its effects are negated. Also destroyed during the end phase. Alright, I forgot that we have that in Duel Links. Why did I look that up? Who knows? But anyway, it could be interesting that they implement that as an Xyz skill. It would make it a lot easier to summon Tin Archduke, that's for sure. And that'd be pretty good for wind-ups. So take that into account. Iron Call, that's pretty nice. Recycling Reserve, I couldn't find too much about that, and I've seen that deck before. Probably a quote for Brog, but again, I couldn't find anything on this. Again, guys, if there's anything for this that I find out after the video that I find by digging even deeper, I will put it in the description or the comments of the video. I just really wanted to get this out right away. So, that does it for Brog's skills. Next, I believe we are moving on to Tori's skills. Now, Tori's skills, these are, I'm going to admit, there's 5 skills here, and I don't know, I have no idea upon their implementation into the game at all. Fairy returns, maybe it's kind of like Return of the Archduke, maybe your fairy cheer girl comes back, or maybe a fairy monster does. Cheer up fairies, maybe there's some cheering in the fairies, dude, I don't know. Let me duel too. Tori does not usually duel, so maybe that is why she's, I don't know, maybe that's why that's a skill for her. Who knows what it does. Have some fun, have some dual fuel. Like I said, Yuma likes dual fuel, and Tori as a supporting character has some dual fuel. Maybe she'll gain life points, who knows. Or maybe she'll have a monster gain attack points before battle. Ooh, who knows. Help me, Lilybot. Lilybot is the name of like a trash bot in the show, like a robot that collects trash. Oh my gosh, not gonna come up with this either. Anyway, yeah, it's a robot that collects trash in the street, picks it up. That's all you need to know. So, and then Speed World Earthbound, the last skill. Speed World, I have to assume that that's for a turbo duel event. We don't have access to turbo duels. Who knows? It's kind of scary, Konami. What are you thinking? I don't know. Lastly, some new icons added to the game. We've got an Xyz icon, an overlay unit icon, I should say. Excuse me. And then an icon for rank versus level. Likely will be added to the deck editor, it seems, to make a distinction between the two. So that's it for skills and the character IDs. Please, guys, let me know what you think in the description, in the comments, I mean, for all the skills, all the characters. What are you excited for? What are your thoughts on the skills? Do you think anything different than I did? That's how we get ideas for new stuff and how we continue the conversation. I gotta say, I'm pretty hyped, but you must keep in mind, once again, these skills are going to be time gated. We're not going to get all these on release. Definitely not. We're going to get these via events, character unlocks, character events, roaming events, stuff like that all throughout the year to come. The characters, though, pretty nice. Reginald is the first character, so it looks like we're going to have to wait a little while longer for Kaito, unfortunately. But Shark, if they're giving us number 32, I am hyped for that. So that is our latest Xyz Zexal World update coming from the latest leaks in the game. 6 days away from Xyz. I'm excited to see what they give us next. I'm so excited for Xyz. On the launch day of Zexal World, Tuesday, September 29th, we will be doing a 24-hour stream on twitch.tv/duelingsentertainment. PDS will be online, unlocking everything that there is to unlock in the game. Brian will be live for the tournament. I'll be live with something. And then Circus will be live at night, like building decks or something. So we'll all be live 24 hours stream. Bam. So please make sure you get in there. Get in the Discord so you are notified when. Get in. Follow us on Twitter so you are notified about all of that stuff, and you can qualify for our upcoming Twitter followers only tournament. It's going to be a boosted prize. You have to be following us on Twitter to do that, so make sure you click all the links in the description and make sure you follow us and support our partnership with Gamersupps. We're going to be getting through that 24-hour stream with Gamersupps. So thank you guys for sticking with me to the end. And if you made it to the end of this video, make sure you type Warrior of Hope number 39 in the comments. Peace out, guys. I'm Daily Kamel. It's been a blast.